Seth Rogen takes on the iconic character of the Green Hornet in this modern retelling. Hi, I'm Greg Hill, returning guest critic. Happy to once again be on RealScreenReviews.com with my good friend Nick Iacubucci. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here, Greg. Always happy to have you here on RealScreenReviews.com. And our next review is The Green Hornet, which opened nationwide on January 14th, 2011. And it stars Seth Rogen, international star Chou, Academy Award-winning actor Christoph Waltz, and Cameron Diaz. This film comes to us from director Michel Gondry, the director of Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. And what else did he direct there? I think Be Kind, Rewind, if I'm not mistaken. And now he teams up with Seth Rogen to try and bring this decades-old character up into the new millennium. So, let's see. Greg, why don't you give us a little run? I think we all kind of know what the Green Hornet is. You know, he's...
Yeah. Again, like I said, he was a very famous radio character.
Yeah, Britt Reed is his alter ego.
Is his alter ego, and he works at...
Owns.
Yeah. What's the name of it? The Daily Sentinel?
The Daily Sentinel, I believe, yes.
The Daily Sentinel, or rather his father does, and then his father suddenly passes away, and lo and behold, Britt Reed inherits the Sentinel.
So he then finds out Kato has designed all these plans and comes up with all these gadgets, and they forge ahead to being these superheroes, but the catch to this is that they pretend that they're villains, so they get close to the villains, but they're really actually good guys. Now, that's kind of the premise. I think we're all familiar with the Green Hornet. Now, once again, did you like it? Did you not like it?
I gotta say, I was disappointed with this movie.
I was very disappointed with this movie. Why were you disappointed with it?
Well, it just seemed unbalanced, and at times...
Great word.
And it didn't really seem like they knew what kind of movie they wanted to make.
No,
I mean, at times it seemed like they wanted to be a serious action movie, and then at times it seemed like they wanted to be
a straight
comedy. And it was unbalanced, and it didn't work.
I'll tell you, when I watched this film, it's almost like there was two distinct halves to this movie. The first half is actually really good. They set up this story of a premise about a playboy that wants to do something better, and I liked where they were going with it. Then when they actually became Kato and the Green Hornet, I thought the movie completely fell to pieces. You had... I know there's a suspension of disbelief and you're supposed to have fun with the movie, but it was so ridiculous and so ludicrous, it got to the point where it wasn't even entertaining, in my opinion.
Yeah, it really wasn't. I mean, at times it was just painful, really, to watch what they were doing.
Yeah,
because like you said, the first part of the movie, the setup to how he was going to become the Green Hornet and all of that was actually really good.
Yes,
and then, like you said, when they started, it was just like, what are they doing? It was just, so disjointed.
I agree, and I did like the character of Kato when he was in the midst of doing the action sequences. But star Chou, I'm sorry, he makes Jet Li sound like a British thespian, and we know how Jet Li speaks in English. I mean, it's sometimes it's so difficult to understand him, and I really think that they probably could have picked an actor that could speak English just a tad bit better. Another problem that I have with this movie is Cameron Diaz is wasted. I didn't like what they did with the villain of the movie. But on a whole, the thing that really bothers me is how many times is Seth Rogen going to play the same character that he played in Knocked Up, the same character that he played in Pineapple Express, the same character that he plays in this movie. It's this person that his life has no direction. Do something new, different. He's even got a movie coming out in about a month called Paul, where he's animated as an alien, and he's still like a hapless kind of alien. I mean, he's the same kind of character even in that. I had a big problem with that.
Yeah, I completely agree. In regards to the villain, I mean, it was just totally unbelievable. I mean, what kind of gangster goes around trying to get approval from fellow gangsters in the area because you're trying to be responsible for all of the crime in a certain area, and then to decide that you need to change your name to Bludnovsky instead of Chudnovsky, whatever his name was.
It was bad.
It was just horrible. And when he's coming up with these catchphrases,
one was worse. One was more flat than the next.
It was awful.
And I thought that the lead character, Britt Reed, even in the 1960s TV show that was very, very campy, like the Batman TV show of the 60s, he was at least a playboy. And he's just kind of like a buffoon. I don't know. The movie had so many problems, it was hard to... I liked the car.
Yeah, the car
was kind of cool. I liked the car, but all right, I guess we've beat this one up pretty good. How many stars are you going to give it?
Well, there were parts of it that were entertaining, like I said, so I'm going to give this one 2 stars.
Ooh. I was expecting that. I didn't like it anywhere near as much as you did. I'm giving it 1 star. I'm going to give it 1 star out of 4, saying that you can easily wait for this to come on free TV. You know,
maybe not even that.
Well, I guess we're going to wrap this up, and we're going to say this is definitely one that you can easily skip and wait on until you can Redbox it, watch it on cable, stream it from the net. Anything that's not going to cost you a $7, $8, $10 ticket at the movie theater.
Yeah.
Well, Greg, thank you so much for being here. And Greg, we'll be back probably within a few weeks to let's review something else, probably the next big action film that comes around. But until then, we'll end this like we always do and say, and remember, people, we're not always right, but only when it comes to the movies.
And thank you for your attention.